You're listening to an Airwave Media podcast.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge.
Sounded very old there, like a lack of seriousness.
Harry Potter.
It's been 84 years. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Matt's back.
Yeah,
That's bad.
Matt, you missed all of the great pastries that we got from our friend Riley last week.
I know. Being out of town, I miss all the great pastries, but I'm off the carbs again, so I would just have to smell them. So it wouldn't work.
Oh,
for
okay.
me.
Are you back on the keto?
Yeah.
Adkins? No.
It's a combo Atkins keto. Keith Atkins.
Keith Atkins. Sounds like a receiver
Country
that
singer.
the Bears would draft
He
in the
does
seventh
sound
round.
like a country singer.
Well, we're glad you're back. It's always fun to have you here. But it's got a full house today. We're so excited. We'll start with our guest player today, coming to us from Lafayette, Louisiana. Rules Guy Impersonator on Patreon, which we appreciate. Jim Price. How are you, Jim?
Hey, how's it going? Doing pretty well.
Awesome. Well, we're doing great. So thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a middle school band director in a tiny town. I work about 50 miles north of where I live, so I kind of commute. Ville Platte, Louisiana, the smoked meat capital of the world.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm a middle school band director there. I also play in the local symphony. I'm a horn player, teach private lessons, and play in a couple of bands and stuff here on the trumpet. So I have a good time.
That's awesome. And I believe your band is sort of an inspiration for your team name to get today with Matt.
Yeah. So my friend Matt and I decided to come up with a ska band. There's not enough of that representation here in Central Louisiana, so we wanted to put together this group. And he's like, "I've always had this band name in mind, and I really like it." And so I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Buffalo Lockjaw."
Perfect for a ska band.
Right.
Yeah.
We were laughing because it just kind of sounds like a venereal disease.
Well, hey,
you
what?
can get your tetanus shot in upstate New York.
Right.
So you'll be Buffalo Lockjaw. We flip some coins here, as we often do, and Jeff's going to be sitting out keeping score. So congrats, Jeff. And Ken, we're going to be a team, and you had a good team name, Ken.
Remind me.
You said that it might be some science going on today, which we'll get to in just a second.
Right. And I said, me and Neal, we're a science powerhouse.
Right.
And when I think of the powerhouse of the cell, I think of the mitochondria. So we're going to be the mitochondria.
The mitochondria. But we want to introduce our host. So nice of him to drive all the way up here to hang out with us today. We're really appreciative of it. Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon, coming to us from Bloomington Normal. Salil, how are you, Salil?
I'm great. How are you guys? I'm glad to be here today.
Yeah, we're so excited. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I actually just moved to Bloomington Normal a few months ago to start teaching mechanical engineering at the university there. Spent 11 years in Florida before that, so moved from the very warm weather to we'll see what happens this winter.
It's probably not going to be
far,
pretty.
we haven't had a cold day.
That's true.
This fall has been really
unseasonable.
nice.
So it'll get there, yeah. And mechanical engineering. So you might be the smartest person we've had in this room ever.
I don't know. We'll see.
Pretty much any guest
There's a reason I'm hosting and not playing. So.
Almost any guest we've had in is smarter than us. So.
And you've been a patron for a while too. We appreciate you supporting us, and Jim as well. Both of you guys have been enjoying all the bonuses that we've been putting out, all the content. We've been putting out a ton, we know. But
Oh yeah.
good. Well, we have our teams here. We need to hear the rules. Salil, you're the host. Any preference on the rules?
Classic.
All right, going to Darren.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Cream I am.
Thank you, Darren. We now have the rules. We know how to play. So let's toss it back to Salil for the game.
All right, guys. So like I said, I'm a professor of mechanical engineering, but my research usually overlaps with material science, computational physics, and quantum chemistry.
So we'll be fine.
Yep, you guys. So the periodic table is pretty important in my work. So today's game has an elemental theme. Each question or answer is going to be related to one of the first 20 elements in the periodic table. For each question, I'm going to give you the elemental theme. And don't worry, this is not a science quiz. These connections are going to be often quite loose, and some may even be a hint to the answer.
Okay.
Right? So for the first round, we're going to switch it up. Instead of giving you the actual elemental name, I'm going to just give you the symbol.
Okay.
Okay.
So round 1, question 1, atomic number 1 is H. So H-filled rigid airships gained popularity in the early 20th century until the Hindenburg disaster left us dazed and confused as to why a highly flammable gas was used to lift them. Technically referring to the airships designed and built by a specific company, what is the common name for a rigid airship?
So bizarre.
It's the first time it's ever happened.
Oh, man.
So for you listeners, I'm sure you recall last
And you'd have no
week's-
idea, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you recall last week's recording.
Which actually only occurred 2 hours ago for us.
Right.
Yes.
And it's particularly funny because it's the
Question
opposite of this question as question 1.
Yes.
And it's mind blowing how for us in real time to experience this.
Yeah, guess who wasn't at that episode?
So we're locked in, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Is this what kind of
A rigid airship.
yeah.
So, I mean, is that blimp or a zeppelin?
Yeah.
That's
Or
kind of what
maybe
came to mind.
A Zephyr? Was that what the Red Hot Chili Peppers were singing about? If I recall.
yeah,
my
maybe.
first guess was Zeppelin, and it's made of lead,
Yeah.
according to my records.
Yeah.
So I'm good locking in with Zeppelin.
Yeah, Zeppelin
Like,
sounds good to me.
Yep, he did say Dazed and Confused, which is a Led Zeppelin song. And we discussed the merits and demerits of blimps, zeppelins, dirigibles, etc. on the last episode. So we're saying Zeppelin.
All right, yep. They don't get a whole lot of love these days. It is Zeppelin.
I'm liking this game so far.
And I'm going to skip the fun fact since you guys probably covered some of it.
Oh, no, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'll give you a different fun fact. So since you're talking about hydrogen, the science nerd part of me is going to mention that hydrogen atom is the only element for which there's an exact solution of Schrodinger's equation. And for everything above that, we're just making approximations.
Exactly.
Wow. And I thought my fun fact was going to be it's the only one that doesn't have like a, whatever the neutral thing is in its nucleus. I can't even smart right now.
Well, some of
One
the
science
hydrogen-
we got.
Neutron, that's the one.
Well, deuterium and tritium do. So
Yeah, okay.
Don't try to be the smart guy today, Jeff.
Standard box,
It's not going to be good.
I knew some of those words.
I feel like a ghost haunting this room. I'm just kind of in the background.
All right, question 2, HE. Nowadays, HE is used for its lifting properties in blimps as well as balloons. However, that is a relatively small use for the elemental fluid. What is absolutely the most common use for helium?
All right, not too sure on this one. I remember reading a little bit about helium and concerns over how much helium we have available to us for use, but we're going to lock it.
Okay, they're locked in.
Yeah.
What are the odds that we can lock in?
I'm not so sure on this one.
I know that the number one purchaser of helium in the country is actually Macy's because they purchase all that helium for their blimps, but that is not the answer.
Correct.
Well, I did learn that recently.
It's
It
there.
actually came up in, yeah. He said absolutely, which I think might be a clue, but I don't know how. All I can think about is "Story of the Girl," I believe was the name of that song, which is not
Absolutely
what we're looking
nothing.
for. And maybe absolute as in absolute vodka. Do you think it's something in beverages?
It could possibly be like
Maybe,
something in the creation process of,
For
or maybe
kegs,
bottling
maybe.
even.
Yeah. You want to do beverage production? and just
Yeah,
call
something like that.
That's
Yeah,
a good
beverage
answer.
production.
I like that. We're going to say lighting, though.
All right, so absolutely was a clue, but the clue was absolute zero because it is used in cryogenics or cooling.
Oh,
You had it written down.
Yep.
I just wrote balloons and I crossed it out right away.
Yeah, it hurt me, Ken, to
balloons.
watch you cross out cooling.
All right. Question number 3. The element is Li. Which band, formed in 1987 in Aberdeen, Washington, was propelled into mainstream popularity in 1991 by their second album, Nevermind?
Yeah, we're good here.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well-
sure I know this one.
Yeah, Nevermind is the one. Is this the one with the naked baby reaching for the
Yeah.
dollar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nir-
So we're going
Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Yeah, we said so too.
Yep, the answer is Nirvana, Lithium being a song on that album, and the third element. And fun fact here, lithium actually can float on water. It is the lowest density of any metal.
Okay, maybe the baby's name was Lithium.
I think didn't that baby sue for money?
Yeah, there was
Yes.
there was a lawsuit involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe they
wanted
lost
that dollar
though.
back. Yeah, they did not win.
All right, question number 4. The element is Be. Botanically, what is common among all the following fruits? Tomato, bell pepper, eggplant, banana, avocado, zucchini.
We're locked in.
Tomato,
Interesting.
bell pepper, eggplant, banana, zucchini.
Avocado.
Yeah,
This was a question
Avocado.
on one of my recent Triviality minis.
does it have something with the like a hard skin, maybe, or
Yeah, I mean,
They're all
You
Luke
don't-
Cage's favorite fruits or vegetables.
well, I mean, I guess for the most part,
because I don't think it has anything to do with the seeds, because they all have different types.
of seeds, right?
Okay, so Jim, we're discussing multiple options, talking about the skin, the seeds. They all seem to be somewhat different, but we mentioned they all grow above ground. Do you want to just say that they grow above ground?
Yeah, that
Is the
sounds
answer?
good to me. I can't really pull much else at
That
this
is
point.
true.
But
They're all
Not wrong.
plants.
They are all edible.
We said they were all nightshades.
All right, so
oh,
I'm going to have to look into the nightshade part, but the answer I have is that they're all berries, botanically speaking.
Ooh,
And
okay.
you were onto something about the seeds, because a berry is defined as a fruit that's the result of a single ovary from a single flower. And element 4 is beryllium.
Oh. Yeah, I
berry.
should've
Oh,
thought about
beryllium.
I don't think banana is a
Beryllium.
nightshade, so I think we're good.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I don't think it is. Yeah.
All right. Question number 5. The element is B. Which dull, unexciting company is responsible for constructing the Las Vegas Convention Center loop and has plans for more such loops in the Vegas area?
Okay, so there's a lot of words said.
Yeah, my initial thought, like the first thing I wrote down was boring, like just boring. But maybe the company is like Bohr, like Bohr, like kind of like a name.
Okay.
It could be possibly
Like
something like that.
Like the element, or what's Bohr? It's a scientist. Maybe he did something. Niels Bohr, is that a guy?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
specifically talking about the construction company. But I was in Vegas 2 years ago, and I have very sad memories from that because I was on a long road trip and I got into a car accident and totaled my car. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a whole thing. So
That's less fun.
yeah, a little less fun. But
catch Buffalo Lockjaw's new single, Wrecked in Vegas.
pick it up.
Figure out what you know.
Yeah, that's right. And being that B is the element, boron, boring. I
Yeah.
just kind of have that in my head.
Yeah. So, what do you want to go with?
We okay with like maybe just B bore?
Yeah, we could do that.
So it's a shot in the dark.
So I'm pretty sure the person in charge of these tunnels is Elon Musk, and his company that made the flamethrower that Kevin bought was the Boring Company. So he said the Boring Company.
Ah, sorry, man.
Yeah, it is the boring company. Like, it was painful to hear you guys say that and then talk yourself out of it.
Dang.
But yeah, boring company, Elon Musk.
All right, and after the first 5 questions, Buffalo Lockjaw has 20 points, and the Mighty Chondria has 30. We'll see if they can keep up with that might going into the second half of round 1.
Here we come to power the cell.
How about I give out a rom-com trivia book?
That sounds great, Neil.
So
don't you?
we talked to Jim a little bit. Salil doesn't really watch rom-coms, which is totally fine. Jim also doesn't watch rom-coms. He thinks the last one he saw was maybe When Harry Met Sally. So We're going to do a...
Salil says he only watches body horror films.
That's right. Yeah, only body horror, because it's scientific.
Right.
What's going to happen to Jeff Goldblum's flesh when he goes into a machine?
Fly is really a rom-com if you think about it.
It is a rom-com. So we're going to ask a question about When Harry Met Sally. If you know the answer, email us at trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. If there's more than a few, we'll put it into like sort of a lottery, and then I'll pick a winner. Your question is, When Harry Met Sally is about Harry and Sally taking a road trip to New York City, where they talk about life and love and debate whether friends can be friends after they have sex. So your question is, where did Harry and Sally leave from in the beginning of the movie? It's a university. So what is the university that Harry and Sally left from on their trip to New York? Email us.
All right. So let's go to question 6. The category is C. A diamond is forever is one of the most famous advertising slogans in history. Which company that controlled a vast majority of the diamond trade and was considered a monopoly until the start of the 21st century is responsible for coining this slogan?
All right, so they're locked in. Thinking right away, are you familiar with this marketing phrase?
Yeah, my first thought was De Beers, the diamond company.
You're a Bears fan too?
Yeah, so on Sunday I'm usually thinking about the Bears,
unfortunately,
too, so.
I'm a Saints fan, and I've turned off my phone, and I don't have a TV in here, so
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know what's
not going
going
any
on. I
better.
don't want to watch that. So
I'm not watching either, but I can bet that David Carr just threw a pick.
yeah, yep.
So I'm good with going with De Beers.
Yeah, we also said De Beers.
Yep, De Beers it is.
Nice.
So one of the playtesters actually thought that the C hint in here was for the Bears.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
So backdoor clue there, I guess.
I could see that.
All right, question number 7, N. What energy drink shares its name with the colloquial name for nitrous oxide in the world of auto racing? The name is derived from the initials of the company that developed nitrous oxide injection systems to increase the power output of internal combustion engines.
We've seen Fast and Furious.
Yeah, we've learned about family, so we're going to lock
We
in.
know one thing about cars.
Dumping a lot of prime into those engines, huh?
Yeah, right.
You never had me.
Yeah.
You never had this question, Matt.
Jim, you do any late night street racing?
No, but my third favorite rapper is Nas. So is that gonna work?
Ooh.
Yeah, that works for me.
Good choice for third. Who's your 1 and 2 then? If Nas is 3.
Well,
Louisiana, so it's Lil Wayne.
Yeah, it's Lil Wayne, and there's a Baton Rouge rapper that I really like that the kids love, Lil Boosie. So
Wow, Lil Boosie over Nas. Okay.
Controversy.
Neil is dumbfounded.
Yeah, we said Nas as well.
Yep, the answer is NOS, nitrous oxide systems. So the drink was actually distributed in a bottle that was designed to look at a NOS tank to begin with, and they don't make it anymore. But yeah, it is NOS, and it is still licensed from Holly Performance that owns NOS.
I wonder if it's on eBay or anything like that old bottle.
It's like your Beanie Babies, Neil. It's not really gonna go
It's
up
not
for
coming
much
back.
value.
Its value
You're telling me
back.
that the
It's
Princess
over.
Diana NOS bottle is not going to be worth anything?
It's over. We live in prime land now.
That's true.
All right, question number 8. The category is O. London is home to one of the busiest arenas in the world, the O2 Arena. For 10 points, tell me what industry the company O2 belongs to. And for 5 bonus points, tell me the busiest arena in the world in terms of ticket sales.
All right, we're locked in on both our answer and bonus.
All right, so they answered pretty quickly. We seem to have absolutely no idea. Kick some things around for O2. You think it might be telecommunications?
sure, yeah, like a phone company or
Yeah.
carrier.
There's lots of phone companies.
Sure.
Speaking of phone companies, for the second part, we're going with something pretty close to you, right? Or at least
Yeah, it's not too far from us. The AT&T Stadium in Dallas seems like it'll be pretty busy. Got a lot of stuff going on.
a lot of seats.
Yeah.
So we're going with that.
Yeah, we knew that in Europe, especially in England, there's a lot of telecommunications service providers, like 3 Vodafones. We said it's in that world. And then for the bonus, I was thinking Wembley because I was researching something on Madison Square Garden recently. But I think I'm just going to go with Madison Square Garden because I feel like they do so much there. So that's what our bonus is locked in.
All right, so full points to one team. It is telecommunications, and yes, O2, Vodafone, 3 are all telecommunications companies, and it is Madison Square Garden.
Sorry.
Thank you, British
so-
TV, for seeing all those ads all the time.
I was to say, I was hard pressed to think of a stadium that wasn't sponsored by a bank or a telecom company.
Right.
So how many points are we doing for the bonus?
5, so
5
15
points.
total.
Nice.
Nice.
Yes.
So actually, yeah,
Crypto.com.
MSG is the world's busiest with almost 2 million in ticket sales. Then is Movistar Arena in Chile. The O2 Arena is third. And then we have Wizink Center in Madrid and Accor Arena in Paris.
Oh, wow.
All right, question number 9. The category is F. Starring Jennifer Hudson, Forrest Whitaker, and Marlon Wayans, what 2021 movie follows the rise of Aretha Franklin's career from a child singing in her father's church choir to her international superstardom?
So it's funny. I knew when this came out, it was kind of just like a awards bait or whatever. And I don't remember the name of the title, but if I were to create a movie to get people to see it about Aretha Franklin, I probably just call it that. It seems like a spoof, but I don't know. What do you think?
Yep.
Okay. We'll lock in.
RESPCT. What that means to me. Do you? I don't actually know this. Do you have any idea?
You know, I'm not the biggest on movies. I like watching them, but I'm terrible at pulling.
And I feel like
names.
in 2021 there was something that was happening that was preventing us from going to the movie. But I
Could
but I-
possibly be.
I might be
Let's
wrong.
if we work back. What's the F? Is the element? Is that right?
Mhm.
So the element would be what, fluoride? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah, I think that's it. I think if we don't have anything, just going respect is probably
Sure,
probably the
that
best
sounds
bet.
good for me. Sorry, I can't pull it out of here.
Yeah, we thought, why would you name a movie about Aretha anything other than respect? So that's what we locked in with.
Yep, press F to pay respects. It is respect.
Very cool.
Oh.
And Matt, after you sang the song, I was like, if you talk yourself out of this, it's gonna be horrible. All right, question 10. The category is any. So before Keanu Reeves landed the role of Neo in The Matrix, numerous other actors were considered and offered the role. One of them is probably slapping himself over this decision as he turned it down to star in a widely forgotten movie instead. Who is this legend of an actor?
We're locked in.
What a great question.
That was a great question.
And then for Morpheus, they wanted Sean Connery.
That would be good.
You are a
Um,
slave, Neo.
Plug in, Neo. Plug in.
So slap yourself, I guess, is a clue here.
Yeah. I think this came up in one of those like how was this made or whatever.
Oh, how is this
podcasts.
made? Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe that he filmed in a movie that had a giant mechanical spider instead because he just that's what he wanted to do. I think this is Will Smith. He slapped Chris Rock and he starred in Wild Wild West instead of The Matrix.
So we're some kind of Matrix? Yeah, we said Will Smith.
Yep, it is Will Smith.
Every day I get closer to believing 1999 was, in fact, the zenith of human history. So I've got great news for both of our teams, inspired by Jim's ska band. They were all picking it up in the second half of this round. And both of them got every single question right. One, the mitochondria, was just more technically correct. Adding 55 to their score, they go all the way up to 85 points. And not too far behind is Buffalo Lockjaw at 70.
Well done.
Before we get to the swing round, just wanted to remind everyone, check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can get rid of all of these ads and all the other ads as well. And for as little as $5 a month, you can get all of our bonus content, our crop drops and weekly bonuses and all that good stuff. So if you'd like to, just get a ton more stuff, more bang for your buck, go to patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
And it's time for the swing round. So let's toss it over and see what we have today.
All right, so for the swing round, we're going to go to a couple of my hobbies, astronomy and mythology. So I'm going to give you a planet named after a Roman deity. For 3 points, you need to tell me the Greek counterpart of this Roman deity. And then for an additional 3 points, you're going to tell me one of their domains. Now, some gods have multiple domains, so I'm going to be fairly lenient on that. Most of them are associated with some form of wealth or prosperity, so I'm not going to accept any of those. For an example of domains, for Thor is the god of hammers. The god of thunder. So I'm going to start naming the planets. The first one is Mercury. Second is Venus. The third is Earth. And while Earth is not a god, it is actually the domain. I want you to give me, for 3 points each, the Greek and the Roman deity for Earth. 4 is Mars. 5 is Jupiter. 6 is Saturn. 7 is Uranus. And this one is actually named after a Greek deity, so give me the Roman counterpart and the domain. 8 is Neptune. And that's going to bring us to a total of 48 points. So for the final 2 points, tell me the Greek equivalent of Sol, the sun.
All right, there we have it. We're going to think about these, and we'll be right back after a break. As trivia players, we are always looking for new and exciting ways to play even more trivia, and that's why we're excited about BP Trivia.
BP Trivia provides various formats of high-quality trivia for all skill levels. Take quizzes online, track your stats, and compete against yourself and others. Our flagship trivia league, the Championship Series, is daily fun. Compete against players of your skill level, earn achievements based on your performance, and see how high you can rank up before the season ends.
Their promotion and relegation system makes sure you're always competing at your skill level, whether it be as an absolute beginner, a pub trivia enthusiast, or skilled enough to be competing amongst the ranks of potentially Jeopardy champions, stars from The Chase, and some of the other world's best quizzers.
And these questions are handwritten by award-winning writers and are hand-graded every day.
So please visit bptrivia.com/triviality for a free month of BP Plus, which includes entry into the Championship Series, our flagship daily trivia league. The 2025 Championship Series season begins on January 6, 2025. Enroll now to secure your spot.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
And we are back, and we have named some gods and their jobs, and their side jobs, and their side hustles.
God jobs.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get those planets one more time, and we'll give our answers.
All right, so the first one is Mercury.
We said Hermes, and we said that's the messenger or the herald of the gods.
And we said Mercury as well. Or we said Hermes as well, excuse me. And we said is the god of like wind and travel, that kind of thing.
All right, so I'm going to give 6 points to Mitochondria for Hermes. He's the messenger god, and 3 points to Buffalo Lockjaw. All right, second one, Venus.
We said Aphrodite, and that would be love.
We said Aphrodite and love/romance.
All right, 6 points all around. Next one was Earth, and here I wanted the Greek and the Roman gods of the Earth.
We said Gaia and Terra.
We agree. We both said Gaia and Terra.
Yep, Gaia and Terra are right. Next one is Mars.
We said Aries and War.
Aries or Aerith if you're in Japan, and we said war.
Yep, that is true. Aries and War. Number 5, Jupiter.
We said that was the Zeus counterpart, and so we said he controlled the lightning, and he was like the boss man, and lightning was his side hustle.
We agree. We said Zeus and was king of the gods and threw all the lightning down.
Yep, that is true. Zeus and lightning, or even thunder. Next one is Saturn.
We said that was Kronos, and that would be related to time.
We weren't sure on this one. We said Hephaestus and went with like creation and building.
All right, full points to one team. It is Cronus and time.
Sorry.
All right, next one up is Uranus, and this one is named after a Greek deity, so I needed the Roman deity and the counterpart.
I thought about Mix-a-Lot and the domain being big butts, but we eventually said Dionysus and said wine.
We agree. We said Dionysus and wine as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Unfortunately, both are incorrect. The Roman god is Caelus. I think this was going to be the one that would play the hardest since I had also never heard of Caelus.
2 versus 1, so I think we're all right here.
I think we just ran out of deities.
Yeah,
this is
right.
the one we knew.
The major ones, right?
Yeah, but Uranus and Caelus are both deities of the sky.
Okay.
How do you spell Caelus?
CAELUS.
Oh, I thought it was KELIS, and I was going to say the domain was milkshakes.
Bringing the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last planet up is Neptune.
We said that's Poseidon, and he could talk to fish.
Yeah. We said Poseidon, and it's the sea, and apparently horses as well. So seahorses is the most appropriate answer.
That is Poseidon, seas, and actually horses too. I'm actually surprised someone said horses. I was not expecting that.
Matt has a deep equine knowledge.
That was yes, that's true, but that was all Jim. He was very adamant on saying horses.
All right, and for the final 2 points, I wanted the Greek equivalent of Sol, the sun.
We said Apollo.
We also said Apollo.
All right, so this one's interesting because the answer I have is Helios, but Apollo was for a certain amount of time associated with the sun. But since both of you guys said it, it doesn't matter if I give you 2 points or 0 points. So score that how you want.
I love the engineering mindset.
No points. No points. We were wrong.
Is the glass half full or half empty? No, the glass is the wrong size. The engineering mindset. I love it. All right, and after the swing round, both teams picked up a fair amount of points there. We've got Buffalo Lockjaw with 33 points, bringing theirs up to 103. And stretching their lead just a little bit, the Mighty Chondria with 127 points.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. All right, so for the second round, we're going to keep the same theme, but I'm going to switch it up. And instead of giving you the symbol, I'm going to give you the actual name of the element.
Okay.
So round 2, question 1, atomic number 11 is sodium. Which superhero, first introduced in 1939 in Detective Comics number 27, with a story titled The Case of the Chemical Syndicate. The story was written by Bill Finger with illustrations by Bob Kane.
We're locked in.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have any idea on this one?
No, not particularly. Do you?
Okay, so the element is sodium.
Right.
And
Salt.
if you had a lot of sodium, you'd have na. That's probably bad.
Batman.
That's funny.
Oh, NA and no. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well done.
go
Yeah,
with Batman.
we said Batman.
Yeah, I'm very happy that someone got the clue there with Batman.
That's
and
great.
sodium. Awesome.
That was an awesome clue.
All right. Atomic number 12, magnesium. Magnesium carbonate has been used as gym chalk for decades. John Gill's introduction of this chalk and dynamic movement marked the beginning of modern rock climbing in America. He is known as the father of what form of rock climbing that is performed on small rock formations or artificial rock walls without the use of ropes or harnesses.
We're locked in.
I know about this because I went to Ken's climbing gym one time and he showed me.
Yeah.
Not
Is this-
he didn't-
I was just talking about climbing chalk in depth yesterday. It's funny that you mentioned that.
It's Ken's Roman
Big-
Empire.
I was like,
Big climber.
somebody asked me what it was made of. I was like, I think it's magnesium carbonate.
Jim, big climber.
No,
Do they have?
no, I
No.
have too much gumbo here, and I don't know if you know this, but the elevation here is like under. We are lower than sea level, so there's not a mountain in sight anywhere close.
Yeah. So I think I've seen this movie. It's when they locked up Han and they had to get him out. So this was, I think, Free Solo.
Yeah,
What I was gonna go with.
that I would agree.
I think we're actually talking about bouldering here. If we're talking about no
boo.
ropes and lower problems, we're talking about bouldering.
Yep, the answer is bouldering.
Dang.
Nice. Good thing Ken's been bouldering himself.
I should boulder some more to build some strength, but unfortunately, I just love the rope too much.
Maybe I'll
Turns
get some.
me on.
Ken can't get off the rope.
Maybe I'll get some magnesium carbonate, rode on my hands, and climb you, Jeff.
I've been asking you to come.
No, I would fail at climbing. I've tried it once
you'd be
before at the
good. You'd be
Ren Fair.
great.
My
You'd be
knees
great.
gave out. I was ready to go to the top, but my knees gave out.
You did a little rope course.
You have the rope and you try and race up to the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Like I was prepared to get to the top, but my knees just gave out. And
You gotta just climb without your feet, man. You just got all shoulders.
No,
All shoulders.
no, that's
Neil.
exactly wrong.
That sounds painful.
Yeah.
that was right before I threw a tomato at a guy for calling me a name. Hit him in the face.
All right. Atomic number 13 is aluminum, or aluminium if you're from somewhere else, and famously used in a lot of planes. So I've had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane which is the PG-13 version of the famous line from Snakes on a Plane. So Snakes on a Plane was one of 2 films starring Samuel Jackson, released in 2006, that had the word snake in the title. What was the other one that also starred Christina Ricci and Justin Timberlake?
Reluctant.
Also featured the second best Cobra Starship song.
Definitely know this one. This is this Black Snake Moan?
That was what I was gonna guess. So if you had an inkling, then we can lock in with that.
Feels good.
Yep, Black Snake Moan's got that great meme of Samuel Jackson of him like looking in his tank top with his eyes wide when he sent to someone. Yeah, Black Snake Moan.
Yep, it is Black Snake Moan. All right, round 2, question 4, atomic number 14. The element is silicon, which is an important semiconductor in the chips industry. But let's talk about the other kinds of chips. The 3 largest chips brands in the world, by a large margin, are Lay's, Ruffles, and Pringles. For 5 points each, can you name number 4 and number 5?
Okay, so they're locked in over there. We got Lay's, Ruffles, Pringles. What else are we bringing to the table?
I'm drawing a blank right now, but I mean, like, if these are the specific brands, or these are like what Funyuns, you see, think about like Funyuns or Cheetos, or is that all in the same?
Yeah, I think so. Like, Ruffles are Lay's
Right.
as well, I believe, but that's the particular one.
Right.
So, like if we thought barbecue Lay's was up there, we can say that, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
My initial thought was Doritos have to be up there.
Yes.
Because Doritos are like number 1. And then my other thought was maybe Tostitos, because people like a tortilla chip for parties, dipping nachos.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I throw out like Fritos. Okay, yeah. So you want to go Doritos? Doritos definitely feels right to me.
Yeah. And then Tostitos.
Sure, I'm okay with that.
I need Matt to dress up like Steve Kornacki and do like a big map of like the U.S. downstream chip like preferences. Like here in this county, there.
Yeah, we picked a few that had OS at the end, Fritos, Cheetos, and Doritos, but we locked in officially with Cheetos and Doritos.
Okay, so this is actually surprising to me. Number 4 is Utz, and number 5 is Cape Cod.
Oh,
So
okay.
I was very surprised to
Wow.
not see Doritos on there.
I guess
Yeah,
Cape
it's-
Cod is in a lot of food places.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I remember I had this question at a trivia night, and I said, Utz, that's a ridiculous one. Nobody buys Utz because someone suggested it. So I've talked my team out of it once, and I didn't bring it up a second time. So I'm doing great.
What is Utz? How do you spell that?
UTC.
Oh, I think I've
I
seen
thought
it.
it was a
Okay.
fake chip brand that they had on TV. And I did not think it was a real chip brand.
It's really popular in gas stations.
I'm
in Florida it was.
I'm glad that Cheetos wasn't on here because I wanted to actually that's a puff and not a chip.
Oh.
but
If you want some really good chips, the Louisiana brand Zapp's.
Oh, Zap's
Oh,
good.
Zapp's
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
yeah.
get the
Zapp's
voodoo.
versus Vintners.
Yeah.
All right, atomic number 15 is phosphorus. Red phosphorus, in the presence of moisture and accelerated by heat, yields phosphorus hydride, phosphine gas, one good whiff, and... This is a quote by the main character in an AMC drama. The anti-hero is named after an American poet, and his alter ego references a German physicist. Give me the name of the series.
Reluctant.
Well, I think that there is a Heisenberg principle,
Oh, okay. Well, that would make a little
which
more
would
sense.
which would lead me to
Breaking Bad. Yeah.
You sure you're not a little uncertain there, though? Maybe you want to rethink it.
Certain
Someone's been cooking here.
that
Heisenberg says relax. Yeah, we said Breaking Bad.
Yeah, could not have a game themed around the periodic table and not have Breaking Bad as one of the answers.
You have to, yeah. That question was tight.
All right, both teams did pretty well again here in the first half of round 2 with a total of 133 points. We have Buffalo Lockjaw, and still with a little bit of a lead at 167, we've got the Mighty Chondria.
All right, going up to atomic number 16, sulfur. Who was the first to patent vulcanization of rubber, the treatment of natural rubber with sulfur to harden it? A famous tire and rubber company is named after, though not founded by, this person. This company is the sole tire supplier of the National NASCAR Series and the most successful tire supplier in Formula One history.
My guess is Goodyear.
Yeah, I think it was named after a guy, Johnny Goodyear, as we all know.
Charles.
No, Charles Goodyear, Thomas Goodyear.
What did you write? Goodyear.
Oh, okay. I was going to change it to BF Goodrich, but we'll go Goodyear.
Yeah.
All right, Goodyear is correct, and the guy's name was Charles Goodyear.
Oh, there we go.
All right, atomic number 17, chlorine. Name the anime or manga that follows the adventures of Ichigo Kurosaki after he obtains the powers of a Soul Reaper, forcing him to take on the duties of defending humans from evil spirits and guiding departed souls to the afterlife. The name is based on the premise of Soul Reapers cleansing and purifying dark spirits.
Reluctant.
Jim, big anime guy?
Yeah, no, I've seen maybe 2 or 3 sporadically. The kids at school love them, and I get a lot of Naruto and other references. But I think I've maybe watched they're very weird ones, like Record of Ragnarok on Netflix. But it's not my forte.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen this one, and I think they parodied. This isn't Death Note. I don't think.
I know Death Note because Death Note the book is what does everything, right? I don't think there's any Soul Reaver.
Yeah, my first guess was Evangelion because it's the one that I attempted to watch, and it felt like that was in there.
Well, that's the big mechs one, right? There's big machines and all that stuff in.
No, that wasn't in that one.
No?
I don't know. maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Chlorine. Okay, it's Bleach.
Oh, Bleach. Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
I was like, wait, I'm thinking way too much about
Bleach.
this.
Darn it. Yeah.
It's called Bleach?
Bleach, yeah.
Oh.
Yep, the answer is Bleach. I'm glad you guys picked up the hint at the end there.
Does Evangelion have mechs in it?
It does.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they're big.
Okay, cool. Maybe I know a little bit more than I thought I did. That's good.
All right, atomic number 18, argon. Argonne National Lab traces its origin to the Metallurgical Laboratory, established in 1942 as part of the Manhattan Project. Under the leadership of Enrico Fermi, the Met Lab built the world's first nuclear reactor, and its name is derived from the university that housed it. For 10 points, give me the name of the university, and for 5 bonus points, give me the name of the reactor.
I'm drawing a blank, man. I'm so sorry.
That's right. I mean, my guess for Fermilab would be University of Chicago, just because it's based out of like Batavia, maybe. It's somewhere. It's near
I think
western
Argonne's in
suburb.
Batavia.
Yeah, it's a near western suburb. So my guess would be University of Chicago.
Okay.
And then isn't it the Hadron Collider? Is that there? Aren't they?
That's a collider, not a reactor.
Oh yeah, I felt like they were accelerating particles there. Some way, I don't know. I would be good with locking with University of Chicago, and then I got nothing for the reactor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Springfield Nuclear Power Plant.
Sounds good to me.
We just said Batavia.
All right, so 10 points to one team. It is the University of Chicago, and the reactor was called Chicago Pile 1.
Oh, man.
Okay. I knew it was here in Illinois.
You can go stand on the spot if you want.
Yeah, so it was actually built underneath the University of Chicago sports stadium. And then they realized might not be the best idea, so they moved it to Argonne Forest and made a lab over there.
How do you move a nuclear reactor?
Hey, that's outside
Very
of my pay
slowly,
grade.
Neil. Very slowly.
He said he did mechanical engineering.
You don't hire college hunks to move a nuclear reactor. That'd be great, though. A great bit. They're like, "What are we moving today?" Like, "Oh, we got this nuclear reactor under the field."
We got pile number 1. Oh, no, that doesn't sound too bad.
All right, atomic number 19, potassium. What is the name for a politically and economically unstable country with an economy dependent on the export of natural resources? One example is Honduras in the early 20th century due to its economic exploitation by American multinational fruit companies.
Reluctant.
I think you can also get a nice pair of slacks here.
I was going to say, Neil's got a lot of clothes from him.
I wish I had a lot of clothes from here. I can't even afford a scarf. So expensive.
Jim, do you know what this is, Jim?
Is this a Banana Republic?
I believe so.
I went in there. They moved it at the mall near us or whatever. And I was like, let me find the cheapest thing in here. And I went and found a glove, and it was like $400 or something.
One glove?
Right.
It was
It was
insane.
an isotoner. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, we said Banana Republic.
They don't let me in there anymore because they know I'm not buying anything.
Yep, it is a Banana Republic. And just related to the previous question, bananas are also radioactive.
Oh.
But you need to eat about 300 per day to actually have any issues with it.
I was watching a detective show the other day, and
Watch out, Joey Chestnut.
someone was taking apples, and if you have enough of the enough apples or not the seeds
Arsenic.
anyway,
Arsenic.
you get
the
arsenic.
arsenic.
Yeah, so they poison
Yeah.
themselves to have an alibi.
No, I don't buy it.
All right. Atomic number 20 is Calcium. Starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz, which police procedural drama is the longest running 1-hour drama series produced by 20th Century Fox Television?
Locked in.
It's a great show. Not Angel, but starring Angel. Jim, do you know this one?
That's once again, it's TV. I'm not so familiar with. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. This is Bones.
Yeah, Bones.
Yep, it is bones. More than
Calcium,
99%
that
of the
makes sense.
calcium in your body is in teeth and bones.
And shout out to my friend Bones, who I went on a climbing trip with recently.
Oh, Bones was with you?
Bones was with me.
I feel like he's not real. I just hear about it all
Bones
the time.
is real.
Bones would be a nickname of someone you make up.
Bones thinks that
For
we're
sure.
not real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we've been hearing about Bones through a friend, and he's our only conduit to
Yeah.
Bones. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Shout
our,
out to Bones.
our friend is an unreliable narrator, so I could see how he wouldn't
Bones
believe.
is real, yes.
All right, closing the gap in that second half, we have Buffalo Lockjaw with a perfect 50 points, bringing their total up to 183, but still with a little bit of a lead at 207 points. We've got the mighty Chondria.
Before we get to the final round and hear these categories to wager on, just wanted to invite everyone to join us on Patreon. You can join Salil and Jim over there and get a bunch of bonus audio content, not have to hear any of our ads anymore, help us continue to provide great content on the main feed like Triviality Mini, Bloodsport, bonus episodes, all that good stuff while getting a ton of content over at Patreon.
That's right. We are once again requesting that you join us on Patreon. It is very important to the continuation of the show. It's thanks to our patron supporters that we're able to bring you the weekly mini episodes as well as all the bonuses on the Patreon feed. So please thank your local Patreon supporter or join us at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for the final round, we're going to go back to one of my hobbies. I started dancing in about 2013, and I've been teaching various forms of social dancing for about 8 years now.
Cool.
So each of the final 5 categories is going to cover one of the dances that I learned from earliest to the latest.
The Tango de la Muerte.
Luckily, tango is not one of them. Once again, the dances are only going to be tangential related to the question.
Okay.
So the categories are salsa, bachata, kizomba, zouk, and lindy hop.
The wagers are in. We're having a pretty good game today, so we're going all in. Other team is making their bets different, so we'll get those later. Let's go ahead and get the questions.
All right, so for the first one was salsa. The name of the dance didn't come about organically in Cuba, but through a marketing push of international record labels and promoters to spice up the genre and possibly signify the mixture of Cuban dances blending together, similar to the sauce we know as salsa. Traditional Mexican salsas are produced using a molcajete and a tejolete. What are the common English names for these stools? Second category was bachata. Bachata is a genre of music and dance that contains elements of Spanish, indigenous Taino, and African musical elements, representing the cultural diversity of the population of the country where it originates from. What Caribbean country is the cultural origin of bachata? Question 3, kizomba. Kizomba is a social dance and music genre originating in the African country of Angola. What is the sole official language of Angola, spoken by over 70% of its inhabitants? Number 4, zouk. Zouk refers to a musical movement pioneered by the French Antillean band Kassav in the early 1980s. What is the meaning of the word zouk in Antillean Creole, which shares its colloquial meaning with kizomba and bachata as well? The word captures the essence of these dances, as they are enjoyed at social gatherings and celebrations, but probably not in political groups. Number 5, lindy hop. The first dances named as Lindy Hop were born around the time the aviator Charles Lindbergh made his groundbreaking flight in May 1927. What were the origin and destination cities for his first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic Ocean?
All right, we have our questions, and we'll be back with our answers. And we are back. We have our answers, and we're ready to find out who will be today's cream of the crop. I think it'll be the mitochondria. What do you say, Neil?
I think we're the mighty mitochondria.
That's right.
A little bit of a ska bend there.
We had a little bit of ska in both of today's episodes. Yeah. And blimps.
And blimps. That's true. Blimps and ska.
All right. So the first question, the category was salsa. And I wanted to know the English names of the tools molcajete and tejolete that are used to make traditional Mexican salsas.
We thought for 30 points, this is the mortar and the pestle.
For 30 points, we also said the mortar and the pestle.
All right. That is correct. It is the mortar and the pestle, both words derived from the Aztec language.
Interesting.
Second category was bachata. And I wanted to know what Caribbean country was the cultural origin of bachata.
For 30 points, due to the cultural blend that you mentioned in the question, we thought it would probably be Dominican Republic.
Okay. For 15 points, we had the African tie-in, so we possibly thought it might be Haiti.
All right. Points to one team. It is the Dominican Republic.
Sorry.
Wrong side of Hispaniola, gentlemen.
That's okay.
All right. Question number 3 category was Kizomba, which comes from the country of Angola. So I wanted to know, what is the sole official language of Angola?
We know there was a lot of French colonialism in that area, I believe, and we said French.
We wagered 15, and I believe this is Portuguese.
All right. There is a lot of French colonies in Africa, but this one was Portuguese.
Oh, well done, guys.
It is actually the second largest Portuguese-speaking country in the world after Brazil.
That's what it is. Yeah, I said that Brazil was 1. I thought Portugal was 2, and I knew Angola was up there. So
Portugal is 3.
Very cool.
That's crazy.
All right. Question number 4. The category was zouk, and I wanted to know the meaning of the word zouk in Antillean Creole, which is similar to the meaning of kizomba and bachata in their colloquial regions.
Well, definitely had to pull from the hint on this one. We wagered 30, and we said party.
We wagered 15, and we said line, like a line dance.
All right. I'm glad that hint put you on the right track. It is party. Kizomba, bachata, and zouk were all basically rustic party dances.
Okay.
All right. And then question number 5, Lindy Hop. I wanted to know the origin and destination cities for the first solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic Ocean.
We thought for our last 30 points, this was New York to Paris.
We also said New York City to Paris.
New York City.
Yep. It is New York to Paris.
Sorry, that was for 30. That was for 30 points. Sorry about that.
All right, yeah. It is New York to Paris. Technically, it was from Long Island to Le Bourget, but New York to Paris is good enough.
All right. Unfortunately, the team over at Buffalo Lockjaw, they got more right than not, but they could only bring their score up to 228 points, meaning today's cream of the crop with a whopping 297 points, the mighty Chondria. Ken and Neal, congrats. You are the cream of the crop.
I am the cream of the crop.
We were very mighty.
We were very mighty today. Great game.
You know what they say? The chondria is mightier than the sword.
They do say that. I will say, though, the real winner, though, is the name Buffalo Lockjaw. I still love that name.
Yes.
I keep hearing it sung to Buffalo
Thank you.
Soldier in my head.
Jim,
We'll do an upbeat cover of that one. How about that?
there you go. Well, yeah, we love the name, the band name, and we loved having you here. Jim, any shout-outs, anything you'd like to say before we let you go today?
Support your local middle school band program. If you get a chance to go see their concerts or do anything like that, the kids now more than ever need community support. And I feel like it comes from the people who used to be in band. And, I'd love to see more people engaging with the schools.
Yeah. And Jim, if you were to make a cocktail, a mixed drink, if you will, out of ska and punk, what percentage of each would make the ideal cocktail?
I would go 70-30. I'm heavy ska, little bit of punk, get a little bit of grunge in there, but yeah.
Perfect.
All right, little umbrella on the top,
Tasty.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, thank you, Jim. Great words, too, to support your community and your band programs. And Salil, thank you so much for driving up here. I know it was about a 2-hour drive or so, and we appreciate you taking the time. And, yeah, anyone you'd like to shout out to?
I want to thank out all the playtesters on Discord who really helped me put in some extra clues in here and make sure that the game was ready for the podcast. I want to thank my friend Martha, who also helped me with some of these questions and kind of sat through while I read them all out and made sure that they weren't boring. And then as a final shout out, since the last category was dance, I just want to encourage you guys that check out your local dance companies for some social dance. They're all beginner friendly. I had 2 left feet when I started, and it's a great way to meet people and get out and do new things.
What great advice from everyone today. I think what we should do is we find your local middle school
Go
band
and engage
program
with your communities.
have them play
Support
music,
local
learn to
arts.
dance at the concert. Just don't be weird,
That's
but dance at the
amazing.
concert. Yeah.
Very good.
Great advice, and wonderful. What a wonderful game, too. Great questions, too. Great writing. We really appreciate that and how much time it takes to write that. But we have to thank one more person, one more entity before we leave today, and that's Airwave Media.
Yeah, one media company that makes me want to dance is Airwave Media, our network. You can find them at airwavemedia.com. Check out other shows such as Noodle Loaf, How She Does It, and Emotional Badass.
All right. I feel like we're all a little bit of emotional badass here. But yeah, thank you to everyone for listening. Make sure to check us out on Patreon. Check out your community and help where you can. But for Salil, Ken, Matt, Jim, and Jeff, my name is Neal, and we'll see you next week on another episode of Trivia Bachata.